give you a sense of how the markets are shaping up this morning. The local bourse, which has spent 7 of the past 8 sessions trending lower, is expected to benefit from a recovery of U.S. and Asian markets in early trade. Makwe Masilela is Chief Investment Officer and founder at Makwe Fund Managers, joining us now to talk us through how the JSE has opened this morning. Dr. Masilela, a very good morning to you. Let's touch on the JSE. How are the markets shaping up this morning?
Morning to you and to the viewers. As you said, we just managed to open up nicely 0.7% after falling 0.9% yesterday, and all thanks to the industrials, as your likes of Richmonds are going up and Naspers. And the sentiment here has been boosted by the fact that China is looking at stimulating the economy, because we've seen the impact that the lockdowns, the current lockdowns for COVID-19 had on the economy. So that itself is boosting market sentiments. And anyway, U.S. Treasury yields are down, and hence the U.S. dollar is also down. That is also helping market sentiment so far.
We can't ignore the economic repercussions that are likely to come with the KZN floods in Dr. Masilela for a country that is still reeling from the COVID-19 pandemic, and in particular that province coming out of the July unrest last year.
Definitely, Xoli. Remember, almost 60% of our imports and exports, they go through the Durban port. So whether you're operating in Durban or not, then you are automatically affected. We get most of our inputs when it comes to agriculture and mining coming or going through that port as well. The fertilizer, stuff like that. And that's discounting or not even considering the factories that have to close, or the mills. Take the likes of SAP, which was down 7% yesterday because 3 of their mills were affected. Takes the likes of Toyota South Africa, it was overflooded. Takes the likes of Pepco itself, the guys there had to close one of their distribution centers. They only have 3 in the country, so it's going to have a long-lasting impact. And as you said, that's in a situation when we are trying to recover. And anyway, this is not just about all that. On top of that, you have your life of Eskom. Today you had Transnet anyway telling other companies like Tungela that, guys, we have to impose a force majeure because we cannot deliver what we promised you. So we expect to see serious impact when it comes to our economy. And remember, also some of the things, they are going into Africa itself, coming through the Durban port. So it's not only South African economy that will be impacted.
Supply chain, I can just think of the disruptions there. Let's talk a bit of company news. Mediclinic International releasing its trading update this morning. How have they fared?
Not too bad. Remember the guys that operate in South Africa, in Switzerland, and also in the UAE. The guys are saying, listen, we expect, because we've seen an increase when it comes to, they call them clients activity, but I think it's more of patients activity improving. So as a result, that helped their profits as well and improved their EBITDA margins. And as it stands now, you look at their revenues sitting at almost, or they expect it to go up by 8%, their EBITDA margin to go up by almost 16%. And the guys going forward, they expected that this activity or the momentum when it comes to that will continue to actions when it comes to the leverage.
Dr. Masilela, we nearly lost you there. Let's conclude the conversation with the South African mining data for the month of February, which is due later, with both manufacturing and the retail sales data for the same month. Dr. Masilela, having already disappointed this week, what can we expect from this data?
Remember, Xoli, this is a sector that used to account for almost 21 cents of every rand that we had in the economy in the 80s, because it was accounting for 21% of our economy. Now it's only accounting for 8%. And as we have seen, that it has been struggling, and even the latest survey shows you that when it comes to the attractiveness, when it comes to our sector, investors are no longer looking into us. And even if we have to compare us with our continent peers, we are almost at 12 out of the 15. And we have seen that in December, they fell by 1%, and then in January, it was up a mere 0.1%. And so far, the market for February, they're expecting a growth of 1.6%.